Hello everybody, this is Professor Simon from Simon Studios, a pottery workshop and a film studio in one. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a mold. In this case, a small press mold to be used for some decorations or designs for your pottery. Let me focus this in a little bit here. Perfect. Okay. Now, a mold. Well, I like to use molds. Here's a couple molds here that I've made. This one here is actually large. It's for a tile. And what I did, I created a positive design. I made a mold out of it. I push clay into it, and this is what I get out. See? So it's a quick, easy way to repeat a design or a shape. It's a technique used over centuries by many people from around the world, the Chinese, the Romans, the ancient Aztecs, to create a design or help them to make a design that's repeatable. It's kind of like if you had a beautiful painting, you painted a painting, you sold it for a lot of money, but only one person could own that painting. And this is kind of like making a print of that painting and selling for a lot cheaper, and more people can have that painting, but in a print form. So this is kind of like a production design. Here you can see I created a wax positive. This isn't the exact one here of this one, but I made a mold of this so I can repeat this design and sell it for fairly cheap, only $14 from Simon Studios. Just a little plug there for my ceramic company. In any case, how do we make a mold? Well, first of all, we need some clay. This is going to be a clay mold, not a plaster mold. I want to give a shout out to Terry Hastings for giving me a bunch of clay. I don't have any tools, unless they're, I just created them now because they're all at school, all locked up under quarantine. So how do we create a mold? Well, first of all, you need an item to make a mold of. Here I have some shells. I found this beautiful blue glass dolphin here. I thought that would make a really cool design to go along with my shells. You can scrounge around, find things around the house. I was going to use a lion head mold for like an applique on the side of a pot. That's for my future use. But you can find any, like a little toy, like this freaky little guy here, or hey, a rubber chicken. Who doesn't like rubber chickens on the side of their pottery? I don't know. That's a good question. So in any case, what I want to do is get a piece of clay about the same size but a lot larger than the piece I want to make a mold of. I'm going to roll that into the basic shape, here we go, of my item. And what I need to do is put a release agent on this item here so it will come out of the clay. If you just stuck into the clay, it just might stick into the clay and it really wouldn't work very well. So I found this stuff in my backyard here. It's called Pam. It's got some oil in it. You can use a soapy water, regular oil. I wouldn't use like motor oil or grease or anything, but this stuff works great. And besides, geez, I'm impressed, that it's called Pam. Probably somebody named it after, like the inventor named after their girlfriend. See? Pam. Pamela, I guess, wouldn't have fit very well. Let's put that on. Here, I put a piece of paper down here to keep it off my workspace. I'm going to kind of roll it around in there, make sure all my little spots are filled in. And I'm going to take that and push it into my clay. Now you don't want to go all the way, you want to go about halfway. Here you can see I went about halfway I can probably go a little further this way, but I don't want to go over the edges and create what's called a undercut, where the item is underneath of the clay. So I'm going to push that a little bit further. You can see the clay is pulling away a little bit, so I'm going to kind of push that back in and dry my fingers off a little bit. They're kind of greasy. And I'm going to pull that out. I'll just use my little screwdriver here and pull that out. There we go. And it made a nice little mold. See? Typically, I would take that mold, and after it's set up or dry a little bit, I would trim off a lot of the extra clay because this would be really thick. You could use it this way, but I like to save on clay because that clay can be used for something else. And I'd probably do a little more trimming so you can see it's a kind of a thin piece here. I wanted it thin because I want this to stick on the side of a pot. So this one's already been made. It's been fired to a bisque fire. Anything higher than that, the clay would vitrify or get hard, and the clay won't release from it. I'm going to take another piece of clay, kind of smooth it out a little bit, and I'll push that into my mold. See? So you have to get your clay already fired. Bisque fire, so it's absorbent. See? I'm taking the extra clay off after I pushed it down in. You could use a little piece of wood or something, or say a ruler, to take the excess off. See, like that. I don't want to take it all off though, but I want to get close to the edge right there. See? Hey, this ruler says re-elect Mayor Brainerd. I guess I would vote for him. He's probably a very smart guy because he's got brain in his name. See? Pretty cool. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to this right here. Probably score it a little bit. See? Score, it's a pretty cool word, you know, in ceramics. Score. You know, like he actually did something. He scored. And I'm going to push that into my, I'm going to push that, whoop, you don't see that. And I'm going to push that into a piece of clay. See? Whoa, hey, it came out already. I'm going to push that into my piece of clay so that my mold gets close up to the clay itself. This could be the side of a pot, okay? And it comes right off, see? And it's stuck on there. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? You can do that with something like this, and or your crazy rubber chicken, cluck cluck, or any other item that you deem will look cool on your pot. So that's it for today. How to make a mold using a found object, in this case some shells. Since I have a minute here, I think I want to throw this other little shell in here, and I'm going to squeeze that in right there, see? Take off the excess clay. I'll use Mayor Brainerd's ruler here. Thank you, Mayor Brainerd. Score that. Put a little bit of agua on there. Push that into my clay. Let's see if that releases pretty quickly. Sometimes, you know, the more you use this, the more time it will take for it to release. It doesn't want to come off very easily, but there it is. Easy stuff. See? Even you can do that. Have a good day, everybody. And just send me an email and make a little comment about what we just saw. Bye-bye.